Hello, kiddies. It's your old pal, John Kassir, the voice of the Crypt Keeper, and you're listening to Video Store Clerks Podcast.
Welcome to the store.
Oh. This is episode 95, and we're still trapped in the video store. This is the Video Store Clerks Podcast. We are your clerks for the evening, this holiday season. I'm Dave.
Yeah, man.
Ho, ho, hello, I'm Mike.
Nasty.
Nasty sensation. And a friendly reminder, this is not actually going to be our Christmas special. We're doing our Christmas special next week. Just want to let everybody know. We do realize that is December 26th and after Christmas, but fuck the system. We do what we want.
After Christmas special.
Yes. And that'll be a good time. We'll be
the AD
enjoying the festivities. Yes. We'll be opening presents and all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you check us out next week. But tonight, yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Christmas classic, we're talking National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. But first, we will start the program as we always do with the news.
Ho, ho, you're a motherfucking hoe if you don't listen to the news.
A family's Christmas decorations nearly caused one man a heart attack.
Please hold on. All right. Can you reach it? Can you reach it?
The man in Austin, Texas thought this dummy was a real person. Nest cam video shows the man rush over, grab a ladder, and call for help. He even called 911. The family put up the dummy to pay homage to a Christmas scene from a movie right there.
The Griswolds, right?
You know, Christmas Vacation. And they are trying to find the man to give him a gift because they say his heart was in the right place. Now, he felt it.
Oh, no.
He said, can you reach it? Can you reach it?
Who's the dummy now?
Yeah, it's good to see that clip, actually. People actually giving a shit. It's kind of funny, though. How does he not realize after, like, I don't know, after not getting a reply for so many times?
Well, I mean, you know, you never know.
Doesn't
Somebody
make
could
any-
be, like, completely petrified and like, I don't want to move. I don't want to do anything. Like, I'm afraid of falling.
Scream help? I'm pretty sure people would be like, help! It's scream. They would definitely scream help.
Help!
Help me! Help me! Somebody help me!
Figured out why I'm off.
Dun-dun.
There. Now we're
The
cool.
truth, the truth was the guy hated the neighbor's Christmas setup, and he was fucking tearing shit down. He's like,
Bring it down! Bring it down!
showing up being in my neighborhood.
Oh my goodness, there's tons of news. Most of it's bad, so let's get started.
Oh, yum,
Box
yum.
office. These are domestic totals for this past weekend. Coming in at number one, Wonka
Hey,
brought in 39 mil.
it's a lot of chocolate.
That is a lot of chocolate. Still hanging on the number two spot is The Hunger Games, A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
How?
Or as I like to call it, I don't care.
Its total now is 146 million. It's still hanging in there. As is The Boy and the Heron,
What's
taking
that?
number three. It's some anime film.
Like actual anime, or is it just anime?
Yeah, I believe so.
Huh.
I'm not sure. I never heard of it.
Sanimated?
Sanimated. Ho, ho, ho.
Salivated?
So Wonka basically pushed everything down as Godzilla is in number 4 this week. Brought another 5 mil. Trolls Band Together, number 5. Rounding out your top 10 is, sure enough, the same as last week. Everything's just down a notch with Wish at number 6 or Napoleon, number 7. Or Joaquin.
Have you seen Napoleon yet?
No.
I haven't either. I heard it was actually pretty decent. It's just getting kind of bypassed.
I've heard mixed things.
Yeah, well, yeah, so have I.
Yeah, I think this was supposed to be Joaquin's like big, epic, Oscar-worthy role, but
it's kind of similar to Alexander, whatever
Joker.
that fucking movie he was in.
Beyonce's movie continues to fall. It's down to number 8. That's a Renaissance, a film by Beyonce. Like all concert movies, the fans usually go the first weekend, and then that's about it. A movie called Poor Things came in at number 9. I think Willem Dafoe's in that. I think I might know what that is.
Well, then it's probably awesome.
And The Shift, which I'm kind of curious about too. It's at number 10.
Is that when like your balls get stuck to your leg and you have to move over? Yeah,
I like your sense of humor.
Shift.
Sir.
The shit.
What is The Shift? I've never heard of it.
The shift.
Actually, there is some good news. Let's do that first. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire released a fucking killer teaser poster that features Slimer.
Ah.
I haven't seen that yet.
Who you gonna go?
Yeah,
Slimer?
all the rest is bad news. I'm about to ruin I'm about to ruin your night.
Don't do it.
Let's get this one over with.
Don't do it.
The out of touch idiots, I mean Disney, are moving on to a new IP to ruin. Can you guess what it is? It's a TV show. It's a beloved TV show from the 90s. The X-Files.
What?
Mm-hmm.
And
What was that?
oh yeah, I'm curious. I
Disney?
guess that came with the acquisition of Fox a couple years ago. It's just another IP they got.
Okay.
There was several bullet points in this article about the X-Files reboot. The one that stands out the most and waves a giant red flag. The X-Files reboot will have a more diverse cast and may feature guest appearances from the original stars. So it's going to be the same garbage. If you didn't like the new Indiana Jones, if you didn't like the new Star Wars, etc., you're not going to like this neither.
That's like when Sabbath wasn't Sabbath anymore, and they had an album where it was featuring Tony Iommi. Doesn't make sense. Just doesn't make sense.
Speaking of Disney, Jonathan Majors was found guilty for those assault charges a couple months ago. His sentencing is scheduled for February 6th, I believe. Hey.
Wait, he beat his woman or something?
Hello.
Yeah, something like that. I frankly, I think they're both nuts. But anyway, he was found guilty, and boy, Disney Marvel was just waiting because as soon as that verdict came out, he was gone.
Oh, they are. I mean, from what I've read, I don't know much about it, but from what I've seen, it's pretty much like, oh well, it's just a matter of time he's guilty. So
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I don't know.
Who?
Hopefully
I know
Marvel
who they
can
were
bring
to this
back-
happened.
Bring back the magic that they had years ago. But
Here you go.
Or just leave everything alone.
Here you go.
I doubt they will.
Who was it?
Leave it alone.
Huh?
Who was,
What
who
was
was
the
it?
guy? Who was the guy? I didn't know who he was. till it was
Jonathan
happening.
Majors.
Lee Majors.
Oh, the fall guy.
Fall guy.
Lee Majors.
He fell all right.
Speaking of falling, that's crazy. You should say that because NBA legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had a nasty fall, and it looks like he might have broke his hip.
How many people were hurt in the process?
No, I don't know. It was at a concert, so I don't know if he took anybody out on his way down or not.
God.
What concert?
I'm not sure. It's a good question. But he's recovering nicely. He's 76.
Wow.
God damn.
Somebody got old. That's weird.
Curb Your Enthusiasm will be ending its run with the season finale April 2024.
Allegedly.
Its final season.
Let's go back
Didn't they
to
say that
Walmart.
before?
All right.
I feel like they probably have.
Is
Ooh,
Curb Your
5 out of 10, huh?
Enthusiasm? Is that the Larry Drake?
Larry David.
Larry David. I didn't realize that show was still going. Wow.
Didn't it stop for a while?
That's impressive.
Yes.
I thought it did. Okay. That makes sense.
If there's any fans of the Wednesday Netflix series, I have good news for you, as they are planning a spinoff featuring Uncle Fester.
Yay.
And finally, let's end on this one. I'm over the news.
So you're supposed to do the bad shit first.
Should I do it that way?
Well, that way the good news makes everything a little better.
Wait, what was the good news?
I mean, there really wasn't a whole lot, really. It was just regular
What was
news.
the good news? I felt like there was one. Oh, the Ghostbusters thing. Slimer's coming back.
Did you just say a ho lot?
A whole lot.
Wait.
And finally, George Clooney was asked if he would ever return as Batman. And he said, and I quote, "There's not enough drugs in the world."
He's already came back as Batman. He's already came back. He's already lied.
He needs to come back as Seth Gecko.
Oh,
Yes.
Clooney. He seems like a good dude.
From dusk till dawn in Gotham.
And that's it. Let's move on to the Griswolds.
Is this real quick? Is this the poster you were talking about, Dave?
Yes. Slimer's right there on the left side of the bridge. Yeah.
Ta-da!
That's a sick ass monster in the middle too. I don't know what that thing is, but that looks cool.
Interesting.
Hell yeah. Woo.
I got worms.
I'm ready for that shit to come out.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. When's that come out? Was it April?
They got pushed back. It was supposed to be out this week.
Wait,
originally.
I want to go back to Mike has worms. What? You have worms?
I got worms.
Is that a line from the movie?
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumber, Dumber.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we still haven't done a Jim Carrey night. We'll have to do that one night.
James. Release date March 29th. Now Frozen Empire pushed back.
March 29th? Okay.
We could be enjoying it.
I could wait a little while.
We could be enjoying it right now, but no, the strike
Fucked it up.
Yep.
Studios fucking up our lives.
They fucked it up.
Fucked everything up. All right, so let's move on to the Griswolds. And that's Christmas classic, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. One of my favorite National Lampoon's films, not my favorite. That's Senior Trip. I'm sorry. It'll always be my favorite.
Really?
Yes. See, I knew Jeremy Renner from Senior Trip, not Hawkeye.
We actually watched that like 2 months ago or something.
Yeah, it's still funny. So we go back to 1989. That was such a good year. Good year in cinema. Tim Burton's Batman, Ghostbusters 2, UHF, Indiana Jones, Last Crusade, Karate Kid 3. Great year in cinema. Nightmare 5. Jason Takes Manhattan. What movie are we doing?
So it wasn't such a good year for Nightmare?
Oh, no.
I was going to say, like,
no, I think I'm the only one that likes The Dream Child. I will die alone on that.
It has its moments, but
I like the vibe mainly. They kind of went back to the dark. Anyway, I know I'm getting sidetracked, but this fucking movie, god damn it. It came in second at the box office on its opening weekend, only to Back to the Future Part 2. So
makes sense.
Good company. And it took the number one spot a few weeks later, brought in 73 mil on a $25 million budget.
Not too shabby.
Yep. So my memories of this film go way back. Played it on TV a bunch of times. It was a go-to to rent during the holidays, and all the cable networks would play it during the holidays as well. So, but you guys go ahead. I'm the tech guy tonight.
Tech guy. I don't have a tech guy.
He's taking a vacation. Oddly enough, this is one of the films where they don't go on vacation. I mean, technically, they're on Christmas vacation, but they're not actually traveling anywhere like the other films. So, this is a good old-fashioned family Christmas at the Griswold household.
They actually don't show Christmas Day, which I think I just realized today.
Yes.
The film ends on Christmas Eve, doesn't it? Yeah, I think it ends on Christmas Eve.
On Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Huh.
Supposedly, this is the only film, only Christmas film to do that. I don't know if that's true though.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
There's got to be something.
Yeah.
When
Plus,
was Die Hard?
It's probably debatable too, because at the end of the film, he's standing there in the yard. You don't really know what time it is. You just know it's nighttime.
Right.
Could have been late.
True.
Could be before or after midnight. Because
We
shit
don't
went down.
know.
Shit went down? Or was the shitter
Shit.
full?
The shitter was full.
The shitter's full.
So let's talk a little bit about the premise of this one.
What's it about?
We can get into.
Who has a case? Anybody have a case?
Well, poor Mr. Griswold. He's a good dude. He just wants to have a family Christmas. That's it. And nothing goes his way at all. From beginning to end of this film, nothing goes his way.
His family comes in to visit, and it's pretty much like, well, the movie really reflects on like actual like emotions and things that go on, like when you have a lot of family gathering in one place for Christmas, and it takes that and parodies it to where it's so true, it's funny, and everybody who's ever tried to be, the putting up the tree and trying to be in the festive nature of things, is a little bit of Griswold in you. Everybody, it's like even my ass like has those moments where like, fuck, I just want to have a good Christmas, no bullshit, whatever. And it's just like nothing wants to go right till finally I flip the fuck out, and then I'm crazy. My cousin's kidnapped somebody, and we'll go from there.
I mean, it kind of shows you how stressful Christmas can be for a family man.
Fuck yeah.
That's why I don't bother. It's too much stress, and everyone loses their minds.
Or just in general. I mean, that's the hallmark of the National Lampoon Vacation franchise is, Clark is always trying to do what's right by his family and put together either a perfect vacation, perfect Christmas, perfect European vacation, whatever it might be. He's trying to do the best possible trip or experience for the family, and everything that could go wrong does go wrong. And it's just how they deal with it. And it's hilarious.
Yeah, we all can relate. Maybe not to this extreme, but we can all relate.
But there's always like one thing that you're like watching. You're like, oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, been there, brother. Been there.
I mean, watching any Griswold movie, you're about to see some crazy bullshit because just things go absolutely wrong, no matter what it is. Period.
In Chevy Chase, though, no matter how he is in real life or whatever, his delivery is just nobody does it like him.
No,
just he doesn't even have to say anything. Sometimes I can't even do it like the facial expression. Like,
do you know what you're gonna do with that tree? Bend over and I'll show you.
How
dare you talk to me like that? I wasn't talking to you. I love that line. We watched it earlier right before we got on here, and I crack up every time of that part. But
so good.
Yeah, I mean, great from the jump though. As soon as the movie starts, you can tell how shit's gonna go because they're just in the car having a nice little merry time, singing some Christmas carols, and then some crazy guy in a blue truck comes riding his ass, and then he's like fucking around with him, just trying to like get one up on him, and then pass him and everything, and then he ends up driving under the log truck, which I don't understand how he doesn't see the log truck because everybody else in the car does, and he's the one fucking driving.
Because he's too busy, telling them like, "Hey, I'm going to show these guys what's up."
Hey, he does
exaggerated.
No, but exaggerated. That whole scene is fucking hilarious.
Because there's no way if you pulled under a truck like that, you'd be messed up in like no time.
Man, that's like Keanu Reeves steadying himself underneath the bus and speed. You know what I mean? Like trying to stay that right.
Buttholes were puckered. Buttholes were puckered.
They said online that truck that those guys were driving was the same truck that Kurt Russell had in Overboard.
Yeah, and I think it was in They Live too.
Yeah.
That blue truck showed up a couple times. I wonder where it's at now.
Still in MGM's lot.
Probably
it always reminds me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, where at the beginning, Bubba and them pull up in that little truck and they're like, and they're fucking with those college guys.
Yeah,
always reminds me of that.
Yeah, whatever music is in that scene always pops in my head.
What?
From Chainsaw Part 2, that music that's playing, that goofy 80s music that's playing always pops in my head. Yeah.
All right, you guys hang up now. Hang up.
Oh, man, we're gonna have to do that one night.
Oh yeah, because we didn't talk about the second one. I don't think we talked about any of this, or did we? Maybe we did. I don't
I mean,
remember.
the second one is one of the greatest sequels of all time.
Oh, I love. Most people don't like it. I love the second one. I always like
those people are posers. We don't talk about them.
Yeah,
Dog will.
They don't matter. Dog will hunt.
Get that bitch on the face. Get that bitch. Anyway, I do crash.
Anyway,
Back to the Griswolds.
Yeah, we're all over the place tonight. It's Christmas.
I got the chainsaw on the mind after Dave came out with the chainsaw. So
watching
funny because he's like you can tell he did that little scene with the chainsaw and the hockey mask to kind of give that little homage to Friday the 13th and Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, because Dax was because we watched it every year, so he's seen it, but he's just kind of he was like, "Oh, is he trying to be Jason Voorhees?" And I was like, "Yeah, but just a little known fact, Jason's never used a chainsaw." And he's like, "Why?" I was like, "I don't know. I didn't write it." Kids and their questions. I was like, "Look, I get it. It probably was too close to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, kid." Oh, well, that makes sense. Yeah, see?
Another fun little fact is this is the only movie where Audrey was older than Russ.
Audrey too.
Yeah.
Technically.
I think every movie is running through my head except the one we're supposed to be talking about.
I just like how in every fucking one of these movies, they're never the same kids.
I just keep seeing the scene in, I think it's Vacation, where Beverly D'Angelo's in the shower. That just keeps popping and he scares her and she's, what?
Hoorah.
Boobs.
Hoorah.
Boobies. And so all the scenes outside the house, inside the house were filmed on the lot in Burbank, the Warner Brothers lot. And all that fucking snow was fake. Fuck that.
Yeah.
All this shit up. Nope, I'm calling off work that day.
I mean, I guess it wasn't too bad. A lot of the big parts were probably styrofoam and shit. So, but still, it's impressive. I mean,
you need that fucking vacuum cleaner from Spaceballs.
It's going from suck to blow. See, we're doing it again. And Police Academy, I think it was the fourth one. Actually, no, they did that Jason gag too because Tackleberry wore the mask and had the chainsaw.
Take the mask off now, Tack.
Yama, 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 yama. I still do that shit. Nobody has any clue what I'm talking about. I just randomly blurt that out.
We still gotta do those movies too.
I want to be around when you do that. Yama, 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 yama.
How do they not know who it's Hightower? Never mind.
Woo! And this, I mean, I don't know. Is this probably the most grounded of any National Lampoon's movie? I don't know.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's some stuff in here that's not family oriented, but it's really not that big of a deal. There's only a couple of times where I'm just kind of either covering up the audio with blah blah, or loudly coughing, or explaining what hey, you don't want to know yet. There, but for the most part, it's kind of a family movie. I mean, I grew up watching it. It was this and Christmas Story, nonstop. Thanks, Dad.
This was always my go-to Christmas movie after I got really, really tired and burnt out on Christmas Story. Which didn't take long once I started playing it 24 hours.
I'll probably never
watch that movie.
That's what I was going to say. I'll probably never watch that movie again for the rest of my life.
It's tradition. I put it on. We don't sit and watch it anymore. It's just like, okay, we're opening presents.
Yeah.
There it is. It's on every fucking streaming site now. Just click over. There it is again. Okay.
Do you think they've overkilled it to where people don't enjoy it as much?
No, it's a beloved classic.
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a group of people that are burnt out on it.
I don't know. I'm sure. I mean, I'm burnt out on it to a degree, but I mean, it is just like this movie. it's kind of a staple of films to watch.
I mean,
Christmas morning, or while you're opening presents, and everybody's, no one's ever. If you got family over, no one's ever paying attention to the movie. It's whatever's on, and it's on while the kids are talking and being loud, and parents are talking, all that fun stuff. So.
See, with this film, I feel like I could watch it anytime. Like, it's never gotten old to me, and I don't know how many times I've seen it. Countless amount of times.
Yeah, I'm not tired of this one. I think this one's just it's comedy gold. Everything in it is about perfect, and it is. I mean, because like I remember when my dad used to like put up the lights on in the house. There was always something that happened.
Yeah,
ladder fell, dash trapped on the roof.
Lights don't work.
Lights don't work. Well, see, my dad's very anal about everything, so like I'm pretty sure that was the one thing my dad was always like, make sure every light works, and if one light didn't work, take it out. And it's just, and in this, of course, it's a little more extreme, but it's. I don't know. I think also there's everybody can watch this movie and you see your family. You think back to those moments when you were a kid and you're like, God, my family's insane. And this was a movie that made you realize it's not just me.
Yeah, my dad was the same way. He was very about the lights, and I was like, Dad, get the Christmas lights out of your asshole.
I don't think you said that.
I'm not.
Wait, why are these lights brown?
Weird.
I'm burned out on A Christmas Story, but no, I'm not burned out on this one.
No.
This one
or Scrooge. Scrooge is another one's always my go-to.
Scrooged is another that's put on either. It's one of those that comes on Christmas Day usually.
See, I always like Trapped in Paradise with Nick Cage, John Lovitz, and Dana Carvey.
Oh, Dana Carvey.
Wow.
Yeah, snow chains. Gotta get my snow chains.
And Die Hard I could watch all year. So.
Oh yeah.
Die Hard, yeah, that one usually ends up coming up. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. It's a Christmas action movie.
This one's probably my favorite out of all the mainstream ones. Oddly enough, I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know. I don't think there's another one that I can watch and enjoy as much.
Just Christmas movies or Christmas comedies? Because Christmas comedies, this one's kind of like.
Definitely Christmas comedies.
It's
Christmas
kind of
classics.
Yeah. This is one that I can watch. I'm not tired of. That I make sure to watch it every year, and I laugh every time I watch it.
Might be the overall. Maybe.
Overall, being the horror guy I am, Black Christmas, that's part of my favorite. But then you also got like Krampus is a good one. That Christmas Horror Story is a good one.
Oh yeah, I forgot about 8 Crazy Nights.
Me too.
Was it Santa Bloody Santa or whatever it is that came
Christmas
out?
Bloody Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas Bloody Christmas. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. I need to think of Sepultura because it sounds like Roots, Bloody Roots. But there's the Home. Yeah, Home Alone's another one that, like, honestly, I have no problem watching Home Alone. I think it's still like, I think it's more of a nostalgia aspect of watching Home Alone because I remember that always being on. Like
we did that last year, Melissa.
Yep. Go back and check it out.
Yeah. Not the movie, just.
I mean, if you watch our podcast from last year on Silent Night, Deadly Night, then you're pretty much watching the movie because we go over it scene by scene.
That was kind of a mess of a show almost, but we got through it.
Well, it was one of those ones where we were trying to figure out, like, how are we going to stretch this out into a full episode, and then it's like, okay, we'll cover the whole, like, all 3 movies or whatever, and then it's like,
it was good in theory.
Yeah, now it turned into 2 hours of us. Huh?
Isn't there 4?
Didn't we do 3 though?
Did we just do 3? I think we just did 3.
Yeah, I think we did 3.
5.
Did we do all 5?
God.
No,
there's no way I watched all 5.
No, it was like the Toy Maker. Man, I think me and Mike watched them all.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
like
we only did the 3 because the 4th and 5th one, don't do it.
No. But yeah,
I'm trying to think of other Christmas movies.
They're coming out, especially with horror stuff. They're coming around a lot more.
Elf, Gremlins.
Gremlins, right? Yeah, I gotta forget. Gremlins.
I don't like Elf. That's probably that's one Will Ferrell movie I could do without.
Yeah, I'm.
Which one?
Yeah, which movie? Boobs.
Turn your head.
Trading Places.
Turn your head.
Trading Places. No.
Oh, right.
Trading Places.
Oh, man, I'm missing.
Elf. I that movie annoys the living shit out of me. But did I ever tell you about the only time that I've ever actually sat through that movie?
No.
It was in a Kmart.
Mm.
It was me. It was me and two of my buddies. Me and one of my buddies I was with. Our girlfriends were in Florida for a couple of weeks. My other buddy Devin was with us. There was a girl at Kmart that he had the hots for. So we went and decided we were going to go hang out at Kmart the last couple of hours before they closed, and they had a living room set in one of the aisles, like when you're walking around, right? And they had a working DVD player with a TV with Elf, and all you do is push play, and it was all set up so comfy, and we're like, we ain't got nothing else better to do. So we sat in there, we watched the first half of Elf, and then we decided, well, the manager came over and she was like, hey. Are you all just gonna sit here? Yeah, and I can't remember what the girl's name was, but like she talked to her boss and she was kind of laughing about it. She's like, "So you're just gonna sit here and watch this whole movie?" I was like, "Yeah, we're actually gonna push pause. We're gonna run down to Dairy Queen and grab some grub real quick and be right back. Like we won't make a mess or nothing." And she's like, "You know, this is the only time you're doing this, right?" And we're like, "Yeah." She's like, "Enjoy it. Clean up your mess. Be good, boys." I was like, "Okay." We went and got blizzards, came back, and we just ignored. Cool. We just sat in, like I was like a kid, just 3 fucking stoners just hanging out in Kmart watching Elf.
What are we gonna do tonight, guys? Let's go get some fucking Sixer and go to Kmart and watch some movies.
Dude, it was the experience. It was something just so stupid, but like, people were walking by, like, are they, why are you sitting here? We don't
Shop
really
Smart, Shop Kmart.
Yeah. Like, why are y'all just doing this? Like, there's nothing else better to do in this town. It's Winchester.
Shout out, Linnea Quigley, for the Deer Rat comment. Anyway, aren't we talking about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
Yeah.
Not Chuck's Kmart vacation?
Hey, I shared a very special moment with you all, so fuck off.
We get bits and pieces of the backstory. Just bits and pieces. For some reason, the part that always gets a laugh out of me is the part when he carves the turkey.
Yeah.
I always bust out laughing when that turkey. I don't know what it is. It just always cracks me up.
I was telling Dave today was the first time I realized whenever they were in the Walmart and fucking Eddie's throwing up bags of fucking dog food in there. Then Clark puts a little pack of light bulbs on top and he grabs the big ass old Roy's and just drops them in front. And I'm just like, I've never noticed that before. I've seen this movie a million fucking times, and that's the first time I've ever actually seen that shit. I was dying.
What did he say? I just messaged it to you the other night. There was the line where Eddie was like, hold on, I'll have to look it up real quick.
Or didn't you guys get a bunch of people out in somewhere?
Hold on. Go ahead.
But I mean, that whole scene there just fucking cracks me up because I never ever once noticed them fucking light bulbs go down. I just always was watching Eddie the whole time.
Because didn't your company kill all those people over at India, Clark? And he's like, no, we missed out on that one. He's got such clever quips to everything that Eddie says because he doesn't take Eddie serious whatsoever. And it's like he could say anything to Eddie and Eddie just like, okay, he just goes along with it. There's nothing where he's like, even where later on. Go ahead.
The end of it when he's talking about, the pool and all that. And he's like, I can't swim, Clark. And he's like, I know Eddie.
Now see, Melissa, I love that scene. I don't know why.
Dude, I know. It always fucking makes me cry my ass off.
Well, not that, but
it does me.
The physical comedy that Chevy Chase does in this film. Oh, like, watching it the other night, it was cracking me up the most. And whenever he goes upstairs in that attic, and he realizes that he's stuck in there, and then he hurries up to go over to the window to try to catch him. And he steps on the board and it bounces up and hits him in the face. And he's like, and then he turns around and steps on the other one and hits him in the face again. And then he turns around again. It's so dumb, but I don't know why.
Cartoonish.
Yeah.
Wile E. Coyote shit, you know?
Yeah. It cracks me up. That and like him falling on the.
Wow. What he set up on top of the fucking door. Dax even asked the same fucking question.
That shit cracks me up because I want to see her reaction whenever he comes flying down through there.
He had to land on her, right?
Yeah,
because she's pulling it down right there.
So like if she was behind it and like the trap door came down in front of her, she would have just seen Clark fall on the floor.
Yeah,
I mean they don't even limp or nothing in the next couple of scenes. You know, I figured that's a horrible like. I figured that probably hurt a lot.
And like that scene too also shows like how he's just kind of used to shit going wrong because like he's fucking standing on the ceiling slats or whatever, which is technically his floor, and then he just falls through onto the bunk bed. Then he's just like, fuck it, let me warm up my hands.
I always wondered. I was like, he just went through the ceiling in his son's room. Why doesn't he just crawl through there? The ceiling's already busted. You're gonna have to repair it anyway.
Right.
Just crawl down in there. Whatever.
He opens the trunk and he's all fucking snazzed up with his little green hat and pink gloves.
Watching home movies, man. I will say though, like I said, that is one of those scenes that like you're fine, and then you're not. Because like this was the first time watching it tonight where I didn't get all teary eyed actually, because I was doing like 50,000 other things while watching it. But it just I don't know. It reminds me of the old days, the times that we don't have anymore. You know,
Waterfalls, Frankie Angel.
That completely.
Same thing in Scrooge. Whenever he goes back to see his parents, you know, whenever he's a kid.
Niagara Falls, Frankie Angel, Niagara Falls.
No, you know, it's like once you're older, you know, you think about that shit more. When we're kids and watching it, you know, we don't, you know, it's not the scene we give a shit about. But being older, you're like, yeah, I can relate to that.
That was the courtship of Eddie's father.
Now, like he goes up there to hide presents, and he sticks it into that little hole or slot or whatever in the wall, and he finds an old present in there that he left. Like, oh,
like Happy Mother's Day. It's like covered in dust.
Covered in dust. Like, oh, there. That was nice.
Yeah, it's like, what do these movies do to you sometimes? They just take you off for a ride of emotion.
Yeah,
which also like, you know, that's why immediately after the whole watching the whole movie scene, he falls because it's like, oh, it's getting too serious.
Yeah, you got to bring it back.
Yeah,
there's slapstick before the scene and there's slapstick right after the scene, so it's sandwiched in there nice.
Unlike fucking movies that come out anymore, like, oh, it's a complete comedy, and you watch and you're like, this movie's sad. This movie's completely sad.
Like I've been tricked.
Have you noticed that these days? Like the last 10 years, if it says it's a comedy, watch out. It probably isn't. It's probably sad and depressing and has elements of comedy to it. That's it.
Take the cap off the lens. You're not filming anything.
It's her dad and my dad are brothers. So I can picture that. I'm sure it was one and the same.
What was the scene in the Naked Gun when he's looking in the thing with his closed eye?
With a
I'm
microscope?
talking about the Naked Gun.
Microscope?
I'm all, yeah.
Use your
other eye. Huh.
Oh, I can see
going back to this movie a little bit, because I know we're all over the place, but like something else about Chevy Chase and Clark Griswold character in all these movies. I mean, he's a very loving father and husband and all that, but it also taps into that point that a lot of these happy families in these movies, they kind of steer away from, is like the dad's a good dad. He loves his wife, but the girls, he still like, you know, has fantasies about, like the girl at the, you know, at the store, and he trips over his words. He acts like he reverts back to being a child again when he can't nibble. Did I say he was
nippy?
I forgot about that scene. That shit's fucking great. Can't see the
Can't see
can't see the
Kenny
line,
Rust.
Kenny Rust.
No, you can't, Dad.
Yeah,
And like, I mean, and like even when he's like imagining the pool in the backyard.
yeah,
you
like
know.
see, when I was a kid, that scene, I was just like, oh, what a goofball, what an idiot. Now that I'm there, I'm like, yeah.
Well, that's how it. That's how it is for like most couples, and there's always like some beautiful person that you fantasize about that you'll never get. It's just one of those fantasies. Like,
It's
oh
years.
yeah, a lot of married couples have that.
Yeah.
It's like, and of course Clark just happens to run to these beautiful women in all these films. Just like in the first one where he's driving down the road and then sees her next to him in the car, and then when they get to the hotel, she's there in the pool and they do the skinny dipping or whatever. It's like he would never cheat. We see that in the first film, but it's nice to have those fantasies of these, beautiful women or whatever.
Christy Brinkley in the first movie, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why the kids always changed. I don't know if there was a reason for it, or if I don't know.
No, I like this line.
If it was just a gag, or if there actually was a reason for it.
Yeah.
I mean, the movies are made what, like 3-4 years apart?
I mean,
like
because
83,
I guess they were going
89.
for that age range. Because
I guarantee it.
Michael C. Hall was how old?
No, Anthony Michael Hall, not
Or
Michael
Anthony Michael Hall.
Dexter.
Not
Dexter was
Dexter.
not.
Dexter was 11 when he first killed someone.
That would have been interesting, but no. Yeah, Anthony Michael Hall. He'd even declined to come back or whatever because he was doing weird science
really?
after
Yeah.
European vacation.
Okay.
We're glad he did.
Yes, another great one.
But I mean, the fact that Juliette Lewis, and
Johnny Galecki.
yeah, dude from Big Bang and Roseanne. Yeah.
No.
Gangbang Theory.
Is this in my opinion, I think this is probably the best Russ and Audrey. What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, man. Vegas Vacation. Russ cracks me up in that one.
I've never seen that.
Put in
Really?
$1. Got a car.
Is it good?
Put in $1.
It's funny. It's goofy, but it's funny. Gilbert Gottfried's in it. Can't go wrong with Gilbert.
Gilbert's in it. Yeah. What was that? What was that smell? Yeah.
He plays a blackjack dealer.
Figures. Weird Science did you change my childhood too. Like yeah, that was good shit.
Just
I like the
watched
show
that
too.
not too long ago.
Do you remember the TV show?
Yes, I was just thinking that Vanessa Angel. Oh God, she was gorgeous.
Yeah, I was a fan.
Wasn't this the only one that John Hughes didn't actually like direct or whatever? He just wrote the storyline or the screenplay or whatever. Or
Yeah,
He wrote it. Yeah,
he wrote it.
He based it off some story he wrote back in the day called Christmas 59 or something like that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Another John Hughes classic.
He had a lot.
Directed by Jeremiah Chechik.
Apparently, he was going to get the dude that directed Home Alone, but he didn't want to work with Chevy Chase because he said he was an asshole.
Not far off.
yeah. Again, like I said earlier.
Most of Hollywood that's worked with Chevy Chase seems to say the same thing.
Well, they said apparently at the third reading, he was like, I can't work with this guy, and he just left.
I mean, it's uncanny how Chevy Chase can go from charming to asshole, and yeah, I mean, even if you know how he is in real life, you can still enjoy him as these characters because he does such a good job, in all the films, Caddyshack, just everything he does. Fletch, there's so many films that I know he's a jerk, but I can't. I love him.
Fletcher's Spies Like Us is probably my favorite Chevy Chase work.
I love the Fletch movies. Yeah, I would like for Bill Murray and Chevy Chase to sit in a room with a camera crew.
God,
okay, with those big Hawk boxing gloves.
And then no, they're too old for that now. That would never.
That'd be great.
That would be funny.
Thanks for the dope.
But and them just insulting each other back and forth, just like almost like your mama jokes, but not.
Yo, mama.
That would be hilarious because they're both very similar. I think Bill Murray. I've heard he's been known to be a little nicer at times than Chevy Chase is.
Why isn't that like a game show?
I've seen something like that before.
Celebrity insult.
Yeah, the Rock and fucking Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg
Will
and
Ferrell.
Ferrell did one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of what it's called though, but
God, Kevin Hart.
Yeah, but they actually like each other.
It's still funny.
Yeah, no, it would be even better to get two people
People that hate each other.
Have some boxing gloves on standby or some foam bats.
But yeah, we're lucky we could just watch Chevy Chase's work. You know, we don't have to hang out with the guy.
I mean, just about every character he's played, he's hilarious. I mean, like even his like part as the doctor and
Dirty Work.
Yep. Yeah, like that part that cracks me up. Like really, like he's all broken.
I've seen that.
And at the end of it, he's like, "Oh yeah, my doctor. Well, he died."
Well, my bookie was asking me if
No, that funny. I have to go find that movie. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Funny Farm,
but Funny Farm.
Oh, Funny Farm. Yeah,
funny.
That's a class. I haven't watched that in a while. It's because it was right
underrated.
With, Money Pit. Like weren't those kind of head and head
right around the same time? Yeah.
But I think Funny Farm's a little.
Yeah, Funny Farm I think is underrated. It kind of gets overlooked with the Fletch in this movie and this and that, but yeah, Funny Farm's great. I always like that movie too.
It actually popped up as like a suggestion whenever I got finished watching Christmas Vacation.
Oh.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like when it comes down to like Chevy Chase being an asshole or whatever. It just goes back down to separating the art from the artist, and it's like I'm a huge Misfits and Danzig fan. Danzig's a huge asshole. He's a big old douchebag, but I like a good chunk of his fucking music, and I'm okay with that. Like I'm okay with never ever meeting Chevy Chase.
Yeah,
fine with that. But Christmas Vacation, the Fletch movies, Funny Farm, Nothing But Troubles. Nothing But Troubles, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Three Amigos.
What is it?
Oh,
Three Amigos.
Yeah.
Three Amigos. Like he's
Thompson Robertsons.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one too.
Well, settle down now.
They can't all be diamonds.
And that movie was stupid, but funny stupid though. Just because Jack Palance, man, like he was a pretty badass dude. But yeah, I mean, like this movie's fucking hilarious. He's good at. I think just as he's gotten older, he's gotten a little worse too.
I mean,
it's like they get a little careless when they get older. They start saying things they probably shouldn't when they get older because they feel like they're comedy royalty.
That's always been.
And Chevy Chase is known to have said a few things. I mean, Childish Gambino hates the fuck out of him because apparently he's like said some racist shit, and he's just some of his views on some things are really shitty.
Did something like that happen on Community?
That's what it was. Yeah, Childish Gambino. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've never seen the
actual name.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. I was going to say his stuff on Community wasn't that bad. I wasn't a big Community fan or whatever, but I've seen bits and pieces of it, and I was like surprised.
Oh, he fell? What happened?
Was it a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, he does these screenings of films. Sometimes I went to see the one of him screening Caddyshack, and now around the holiday season he does a screening of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and he'll do it like a Q&A afterwards with people or whatever. He'll come out on stage. And,
I want to say that he's fallen off that stage before doing that because I thought that happened a couple years ago. Yeah, so that's recent that he's done it. He's done it before.
Well, yeah, he's in bad shape. I mean, if you see him at any conventions or anything, they always have him going around in a wheelchair. So, his health is declining. I mean, he's like, 80 years old, right?
Yeah.
Him and Dave could race.
Yeah.
That'd be a moment.
Well, he should have raced R2.
See, Chevy Chase is one of those actors, like, if I had a chance to meet him, like, didn't have to pay whatever, he's right there. I could just, whatever the hell, like, I still don't know if I'd want to. He comes off as too much of like.
It's quick.
I saw the videos when you all met him, and like he didn't really. It was a lot of what? Oh yeah, just like that grumpy, like I don't know, that grumpy old man kind of.
I just shit my pants and I'm cranky.
Maybe we need a new grumpy old men. with Chevy Chase and who else?
Hey, you
Bill
can't
Murray.
take away. You can't
Bill
take.
Murray. There you go.
No, you can't take away from Math Out on Lemon, okay? Because those movies.
No,
those
you can't.
movies
But I
are great.
mean,
Fine. Then we'll do
that'd be the direction.
Fine. We'll have Bill Murray and Chevy Chase in a new Cocoon movie. How about that?
Oh, God.
In a what movie?
Cocoon.
Gotta bring back the
Cocoon. That is not at all what I thought you said. No,
Come on.
Cocoon.
we're canceled. I don't know what the fuck he just said. Okay.
Fucking
Cocoon.
Let's do Cocoon and Cocoon the Return one night. Silence. Silence.
Let's not.
Let's not say we
Let's
did.
not.
That's some man I met in the restroom.
Yeah, I mean,
So he's like,
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest about this. Chevy Chase is a huge actor, and a huge asshole. But no, he's a huge actor, and you know, it makes perfect sense that it's gone to his head because he was a big star at one time, and he's still. I mean, I you know, anybody from our generation time period like fucking knows who Chevy Chase is, like. You know, but
there's a town name after him.
He's just some
no,
people
he was
can't
named
handle
after a town.
some people can't handle it, and they end up being dicks.
bank.
Yeah, the bank.
I always felt to sum up Chevy Chase, if you ever watch him on Saturday Night Live and he does the news where he's like, he finishes and he's like, I'm Chevy Chase and you're not.
Yeah.
That surmises everything
Yep.
you know you need to know about Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
The Mariah Carey of actors.
What?
Interesting.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, Diva was.
Had Christmas songs.
I mean, luckily so
Merry
far,
Christmas.
I've had good experience in meeting my heroes because they always say like, don't meet your heroes or whatever. So far, I've always had good experiences with it, but I've never met Chevy Chase. I mean, I wouldn't say Chevy Chase was a hero of mine, but what were we talking about?
Yeah.
Oh.
They say don't ever meet your heroes because I've heard horror stories, and most of the time the people that I've met that I've admired most of the time have been pretty cool. There has been a few where I'm like, oh, you're a dickhead, and I'll keep that in mind.
Wake up, Chad.
Oh shit.
And yeah, I mean, you know, Chevy Chase carries this film, but we can't go without talking about his counterpart in this film, Beverly D'Angelo.
Easy for you to say.
Beverly
D'Angelo.
Beverly Double D'Angelo.
Man,
She's so sexy.
Sean was cool, and Brett.
Fuck yeah.
That was like one of the greatest moments of my life was meeting Bret Hart.
Sorry.
But yeah, Beverly D'Angelo, the former Mrs. Al Pacino.
Oh, really?
that's
I
right.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You better
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
sleep.
No, I've been trapped in this video store.
She got a great ass.
Nice.
But yeah, she does great. You know, they have such good chemistry in all the National Lampoon's films.
Kick.
Melissa and Dave are gonna fight.
She went there.
No,
Great
I
chemistry.
actually
She seemed
I
pretty
used to have a
grounded in these
thing.
movies too.
I used to have kind of a crush on Beverly D'Angelo when I was a kid.
I still do.
Mhm.
What are you talking
Oh
about?
yeah,
We
still
saw
looks
her up.
good.
yeah. She looks
Yeah, we
good.
met her. We saw her up at Steel City Con. I
Oh,
think
that's
it was
right.
last
Yeah,
year.
y'all met her when y'all met Chevy Chase, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a
Yeah.
sweetheart.
Oh, yeah. She said to be really
Still,
nice.
still beautiful.
That's what I was
I'd
telling
throw
Dave
her a
today.
bone. Oh.
I was telling Dave today it's crazy because we could have actually got a full fucking Christmas Vacation piece done as long as we fucking met David. Because I mean, you figure we could have got Chevy, Beverly, Randy, and then if Juliet shows up in April, could have got the piece.
Galecki ain't doing anything. Fucking, he's got all that money from
Gangbang,
Big Bang.
I'd love to meet
He
Juliet.
can retire.
Ganga Bonga.
Oh, you know, that reminds me of something we haven't discussed when it comes down to this movie is The Neighbors. Speaking of Juliet's. Juliet Louis Dreyfus. God, right?
Julia Louise Dreyfus.
Yeah. Chick from Seinfeld.
That's what
her
I
and
call.
her and that other guy who he's been on a bunch of shit. But the only things I remember him being on besides this movie was he was on an episode of Tales from the Crypt. where he was playing his psychotic wife. It was a guy who also dressed like his wife and killed other women. You know, the whole Norman Bates mom thing, kind of like that with his wife. And then he played on this show, this like teen show on USA back in the day. It was like an after school, like private school kind of like comedy show that I used to watch. I couldn't tell you what it was called, but yeah, pretty sure it's the same guy. But yeah, that's all I know of him from. But they're hilarious. Their whole aspect of like how they just and how they never ever call the cops on him or nothing. They're just like, God damn it, he busted our window again. Like it's just, they're such a disgusting couple. Like you just love to get theirs over and over again. Yeah. Well, I told you that's one of my favorite lines. Bend over and I'll show you. How dare you talk to me like that? I wasn't talking to you.
He was also in Trading Places. Nicholas Guest. He was the chick that like one of Dan Aykroyd's buddies from the club or whatever. That I think it is he related?
And you said that's Jarvis's counterpart in Christmas Story is the Guest guy.
Nicholas Guest plays Todd.
Is he related? Do you happen to know? Is he related to
Christopher Guest?
Yeah, yeah. Because honestly, I could see them being related. If you actually kind of look at their face a little bit, I don't know. I'm kind of curious about that now.
Yes.
Quick, fun stuff.
Oh, really? Oh. Yep. Well, there's another fun fact. Yeah, those tinfoil workout clothes were 80s. It was the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's such a small part in the film that, you know, these guys being the neighbors, and it's so memorable. You know, still to this day, everybody always is like, why is the carpet wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot. You know, there's shirts with these lines on it, you know, and it's like when you have such a bit part that gets over and is memorable like that, then you know you've done a good job.
Pure 80s, and I love it.
It always cracked me up whenever she's like telling him to go over there and slug Clark in the face, and he wouldn't do it. And she's like, well, I'm going to. And then she goes over, and that happens in the middle of the whole squirrel chase scene.
Squirrel fiasco.
Squirrel!
Yeah, you can't forget about that scene either.
Or the cat.
Really is so many, there's so many classic scenes in this movie that are just so ridiculous. But like, even the smallest moments are actually big moments. You know what I mean? Of course.
I like whenever you first see Mr. Shirley and stuff, and he's like calling Clark all kinds of different names.
Speaking of Bill Murray.
Yeah, Bill Murray's brother.
Yeah.
Brian Durham.
He even calls him Bill at one point.
Hey, Mark.
He's like, Mr. Greaseball. I mean, hey, Greaseball.
Danny fucking K.
Just put it over there with the other presents.
Kiss my ass. Kiss your ass. Kiss his ass.
Kiss his ass.
The whole scene with where he flips the fuck out. I'm sure everybody knows at this point, but whatever. Where he's flipping out and he's going on his whole little tirade. Apparently, everybody that was in the room was wearing signs that had what he was saying written on, so he didn't, you know. It's like, oh, that makes perfect sense because he kind of nails that, you know. That's I love that scene. That's when it comes down to like favorite freakouts in film of all time. I would say that this one is in my top 5 favorites. It's just
hallelujah. Holy shit!
Holy shit! Where's the top?
Holy shit!
So good.
Again, delivery. Chevy Chase. Again, his delivery on everything is pure comedy, pure genius. I mean, the guy's a fucking asshole, but he's also been in some of the greatest comedies of our time.
Well, you plunk down $7,500 to get a groundwork for your pool, and you get a Jelly of the Month club.
Oh, dude,
that's a real kick in the pants.
Well, like when he first finds out it's the jelly thing, and like Eddie's like, it's the gift that keeps on giving all year long. He said, "That's right, Eddie." Like, God damn it, we've all had that family member, okay, or that friend who has a family member that happens to always be around, you know. And it's like we've all had that guy, we've all had him, where you're just like, you have to talk to him like he's a child a little bit. Yeah. He's not all there in the head, even though he's like 35, 36 years old.
When he says it though, he's like, "That's my wife's cousin. He has a bigger heart than a brain." Thank you, Clark. I appreciate that.
and he does. It's like, well, you're kind of an idiot, but you're a sweetheart. I mean, that's kind of how it goes, right? You know,
like whenever his wife calls the cops or whatever, and she's like, "My husband got kidnapped. I don't know. He was tall and he was a very bulgy man
wearing a blue
blue leisure suit.
Yeah,
he had Kansas tags or whatever."
I always like the one where they're sitting at the dinner table and Clark's talking to the kids about how they just saw Santa on their radar somewhere or whatever, and then Eddie's like, "You serious, Clark?"
And of course,
he's like
Shitter's Fool.
Oh, can't forget that one.
Can't forget
Classic.
Shitter's Fool.
I mean, man,
What are you doing, Clark? Just watching some redneck dump raw sewage into my drain.
Like when the dude's gonna lights the match, he's like, "Wait, don't light that." Perfect.
Yeah.
Such a damn good movie. Which I can't remember that guy's name. The old guy talks like this.
Lewis.
Like he God, he was kind of like the Wish version of like George Burns or something. You know what I mean? Because he was very similar. He was on Tales from the Crypt once or twice.
Yeah,
he was in
wasn't he Puppet Master?
Yeah, Puppet Master. Yeah. That's where else I know him from. Yeah,
William Hickey.
He was also the guy in Cat's Eye, right? Like that story or whatever, the killer cat and fucking the Poindexter guy.
He was he was the old dude.
Yeah,
clearly. Yeah. And like George Burns, he's always been old. I don't think he's ever not been old.
Well, he said he was only 62 when he filmed this movie.
Yeah,
and he looks like he's older than the old lady that's 81.
It's like Estelle Getty on Golden Girls. I mean, she wasn't that old when she was like
she was the
youngest. She was the youngest one, and it's like when she finally got old and died, you're like, she's just now turning that age and died.
Right. And you can't forget about Ray Romano's mom.
Yeah.
She's in fucking everything, and she never aged at all either.
I got hemorrhoids. Oh, mom. That whole, that whole scene where the whole family just bombards them as soon as they walk in, dude. Everybody can relate to that. It's like everybody comes in and immediately it's like, hey, this person died. Have you talked to this person? He's really sick. He's going to probably die. I got a bull on my ass the size of New Hampshire. And oh, by the way, have you met your brother Sarah? Like it's just like all kinds of like, and you see that like the little moments where they're all talking, and it's like they're all trying to be like, yeah, okay, what the fuck,
Did I break wind? Is Rusty still in the Navy?
I always like that one.
Do you see this thing right here? Well, is it turning colors? When you keep messing with it, now it's turning red.
Yeah. I always wanted to know what the fuck Clark's mom's doing whenever she says hi, because she does like the knock on the forehead, then she grabs his nose and shoves her hand in his mouth, and he's just like, ha. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? What kind of goofy ass
weird mom things?
Here? Like,
one of those weird mom things from back in like the fucking 80s or 70s or some 50s. Shit.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? She's just fucking taking his tonsils out. Come
here. You remember when you were this old and I used to do this all the time? Like, I don't know. I don't know what.
My mom always did the whole fucking lick your thumb and wipe your cheek bullshit. You running around smelling like spit all day.
I hate that shit, and I do it to my kid now. And I'm like, sorry. You don't understand how sorry I am for doing this. I feel like a complete asshole.
You got chocolate on your cheek.
Yeah. Let me get that off there, Mom.
That's disgusting.
No, what's really bad is when you're in middle school and you actually go to one of the middle school dances, and your mom, as she's dropping you off, realizes that you do have something on your face, and she runs out of the minivan, runs around, and in front of the girl you have a crush on, and then I'm like, well, you can take me home now. I don't be here now. Oh, you should stay. What, Mom? Come back here. Hey.
It's like I'd rather be known as the dirty kid than the kid that has his mom fucking spit on his face.
Yeah, you turn around like half your class are looking at you going, I'm like, well, this is gonna follow me a few years. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate it.
And normally I can't stand it when animals get killed in movies.
No, but it's hilarious.
This is the exception. The squirrel and the cat, I think that might be my favorite part. That whole dinner scene's probably my favorite.
I think just like the whole acting part, whenever he fucking is holding the box with the cat in it, and he's fucking like, like, that shit always cracked me up. That's exactly what the fucking cat would be going crazy in that fucking thing. I think she wrapped her cat. This one's leaking. Oh, it's a Jello mold.
Jello mold.
He's like, Aunt Bethany, does your cat eat Jello? Like, I don't know about the cat, Clark, but I sure like it.
I like it because they're like, it's leaking, and then Beverly D'Angelo like puts her finger in it, and
Eddie just licks it off.
Eddie just sticks his mouth and and licks her finger, like, completely.
Lime.
Yeah. Like, why would you do that? It's like, what the fuck? But yeah,
and
so many
classic
scenes, man.
The kid that had cross eyes and got fixed by getting kicked by a mule, was it?
Yeah.
Ruby Sue
fell down a well, went cross-eyed, gets kicked by a mule, straightened it back out. I wouldn't kiss him, Marty. He has some kind of lip fungus.
Oh, I forgot about the sled. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
going for a new land speed record.
Yo, like, I didn't even realize fucking there was a Walmart's around back in the 80s.
Yeah.
We didn't have one around here.
We went through like 5 Walmarts in the town.
Hills was the shit.
We had the Hills. We had Kmart. We had
What's the one
I
down
remember Walmart had parental advisory tapes.
GB's,
McCrory's.
Oh, McCrory's. Man, I'm so sad.
KB.
I want to go.
Never had a McCrory's.
Yeah, we did for a long time, and then it was gone.
Good shit. We even had a Popeyes back in the 80s.
No, used to fucking get a Popeyes every Monday night.
Bullshit.
I think everybody in this film nails their part. I don't think there's one single thing where
you believe everybody.
Yeah.
And John Hughes was such a good writer too.
For sure.
Yeah.
So that combination just instant classic. Oh yeah. That's why Hills was heaven. You could fucking shop for toys, eat a pretzel, get a slushie, and play a fucking arcade game all in the same place.
Get some badass popcorn that make your lips hurt.
Celebration of food.
The place was called Hills.
Hills.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, like, I never been to a Hills, but like Target had where you could go through and get, pretzels and shit. Man, I kind of want one of them big old pretzels now.
I just signed back up for Sam's Club, and I hadn't been a member for like 20 years. And I went in there the other day, and they got a combo where it's like a hot dog and a big drink for like $1.38, or like slice of pizza and a drink for like $2.50.
It's like gas station food, but like a little better.
Yeah.
Like roller food, man. Like you can't. I mean, yeah. I used to love that shit. You go into a place and you wait through line, you get a drink, you get a pretzel, you get some nachos, wherever the fuck, and then you walk around with your mom forever. And like that was the one way that like parents were able to get their kids to fuck off when they're trying to get their shopping done. It's like, here, I'm gonna get you a drink. That'll help you shut the fuck up. Eat a pretzel. Those things are fucking chewy. That's gonna take a minute, so you'll keep shutting the fuck up. And if you still don't shut the fuck up, I'll get you a hot dog. And then I'm going to get mad at you later for ruining your fucking dinner. I'm just saying as an example.
Just saying.
Oh, man, you're taking me back, man.
You can't forget, too, about the sled ride scene whenever he's trying to get Eddie to fucking ride it. He's like, oh, thanks, Clark. He's like, got this metal plate in my head. Let's screw up the part.
I forgot about that. That's a good one, too.
He's like, she has a microwave. I'll piss my pants and pass out for 30 minutes.
Forget who I am.
Can we take a second and just appreciate the Quaid?
Randy Quaid?
That guy, man, I don't know if you all have kept up with him the last few years. He seems like he's appearing more in public again. But he kind of lost his mind there for a minute. But at the same point, I don't believe he lost his mind. Because they were. Do you remember the sex tape they released?
Yeah,
like
they were doing all kinds of goofy shit. Didn't they get arrested for?
It was all the get out, the conspiracies and shit. They're like, all this is going on. And so, like, part of me is like, they're probably telling the truth. But I don't think having a fucking because I believe like one of the movies they had was like them, like him, like bent, like they were wearing masks or something, and he had his woman bent over, and they were like preaching some end time message or some shit while he's like kicking her from behind, and I'm just like, I mean, I don't really fully doubt that you probably got some truth behind it, but do we have to watch you have sex while you get your message across?
I think there's a lot of
you
trouble.
weird old Santa Claus looking motherfucker.
All kinds of
Because
theories.
He's also we can't forget about one of his best and most underrated films,
Independence Day.
Fuck that
Freak.
movie. Parents. Do you remember Parents?
Oh yes.
The parents that were cannibals, and it's all told through the eyes of the son.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
all the time because I would always see it on the shelf, and I'd be like, "What the fuck is this movie?" Because it had parents like written in blood on the cover.
Yeah,
and Randy Quaid was standing there with the woman. So it was like forever before I finally rented it. But
yeah, there was like the happy homemaker Donna Reed type family, but behind closed doors they have human flesh.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
I always think of Freaked.
Freaked.
Him being like the freak master or whatever, that ones that actually makes the Freaked.
Kingpin.
Oh yeah.
He's been a lot of people don't realize he's been around a long time. You know,
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you go back, he did like that film Missouri Breaks with Marlon Brando and Jack Nicholson back in.
I mean, he was the sheriff in the race with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah. So it's like he didn't really get a following until he got more into the comedy aspect of things. But he's been an actor for a long time. He's the older brother of Dennis Quaid, obviously.
Yeah. There's no doubt that this is probably his most known role. I mean, with the memes and the shirts and the stickers and the all kinds of shit, like it's shitters full.
Yeah. I mean, my neighbors have some kind of prop dummy up in their yard that's dressed up like him, because that's
taking a piss in the yard.
No, but every night I pull up and I park in my driveway and I look over and I think somebody just fucking standing out in the street. I'm like, what is going on here? And I was like, oh, it's the damn dummy.
Bathrobe.
Yeah, some assole in the bathrobe.
They didn't have it to where it's like robotic and it waves, but like it's also holding like this tube full of brown shit flying everywhere, like going into like a hole over and over again.
No, it's not that advanced.
Well, it should be. Goddamn, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, this movie has sold a ton of merch just with lines from the movie.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that the tree itself, the tree alone in this movie, is about the squirrel, everything. Like when it comes to the little stuff, it's almost kind of like a Christmas story with the lamp. You know what I mean? Like
Fragile.
And yeah,
it's a major award.
And the the BB gun. You know what I mean? Like there's stuff there that kind of sticks out with this movie. That and again, those two movies are always watched back to back. Every Christmas. So of course they get kind of, you can kind of see the similarities with certain things. You know what I mean? Like but I'll still stand by it. I'd rather watch Christmas Vacation over and over again than Christmas Story.
Which is
I'd rather watch the other movies that guy made.
I used to have one of those cups.
Which is a throwback to the original film where they go to Wally World. You got the moose.
Mm-hmm.
What is he called? Marty the Moose? Marty Moose? Some weird shit.
It's Wally World, Dad.
Fucking eggnog. Funny thing real quick. So a comedian, David Tell, used to do the show Insomniac. Well, one of the funniest fucking shows of all time. I took my mom and my stepdad years ago to thanks Jeff to go see Lewis Black, Mitch Hedberg months before he died, and David Tell.
Oh shit!
And we're sitting there watching, and they're, it's hilarious. It's a great time. And it was in December, so it was around Christmas. And David Tell gets up there and he goes, "Do you have any fans of eggnog out there?" And there was like, he's like, well, you might as well pour it all over your own ass and smack it, because it's just elf cum.
Elf cum.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Yeah.
So I can't drink eggnog anymore because
he ruined it for you.
Yeah, because every time I drink it, I'm like, Bukkake, put it down.
I'll tell you this funny story cracks me up anyway. Is David Tell years ago did a show in Columbus when I was living out in Ohio, and after the show, he goes down by Ohio State and they're filming an episode of Insomniac. So I know he's down there filming, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fucking show up at one of these places and hopefully get on the TV show. So he's walking down the street with the camera crew, and sure, I'm walking up the street towards them. And he stops me, and I was so worried about trying to figure out how I was going to get on camera that I never thought it through. He stops me, and he starts asking me questions. He's like, "Where's the great places to drink around here?" And I was like, "I don't know," because I don't drink. So I was like, I completely fucking botched that whole operation. So there's hidden footage somewhere in Comedy Central's vault where I'm looking like a fucking idiot on the streets of
you can find just about every episode of Insomniac on YouTube.
It never made the show. It was a cutscene.
Very cool. Thank you for no information. I'm going to go ahead and walk away.
It was my mom, completely useless.
My mom always said that I always reminded her of David Tell. I was like, what do you mean? And then there was a picture of me with like this like wool hat on, like something like Eddie would wear or whatever. And my mom saw the picture of it. And she goes, "Yep, you look like like David Tell." I'm hoping that I've grown out of that, but yeah.
They have a nickname for you at the airport. It's called Random Bag Check.
No, David Tell is one of the greatest comedians of all time.
Very underrated, for sure.
But I will say this, so this is kind of embarrassing, but it's okay. Another thing, like I said, it was my mom, my stepdad, right? And there was also one point where David Tell was like, he's asking the audience questions and stuff, and he goes, "How many women out here have vibrators?" And mom goes, "Woo!" And I'm like, "Oh my god,
oh shit!"
And my stepdad's like, "I'm sorry you had to see that."
Like, no, you don't, Mom. It's a flashlight.
Yeah, I know why it won't turn on. No, yeah. Funny moments there. Funny moments. But no, like elf cum. And apparently Jeff's a fan of elf cum. So.
Chuck, can you grab my back massager?
No, Mom.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
On that note,
before we get to final thoughts, sorry if I seem a little off tonight. I'm feeling a little puny, but I didn't want to miss Christmas. I didn't want to miss Christmas.
Pew, pew.
Sorry if I am feeling, well, I don't know how. I had teeth removed, so if I sound a little weird or I look like a chipmunk or I'm a little swollen still, so just go ahead and, if I'm not as handsome as I usually look, that's probably why. If I talk with a slur or anything, that's probably why. And
I'm sorry too that you had to deal with Dave and Chuck's deformities.
I'm not a monster. I'm a man.
Thankfully, me and Chad are here to carry the show.
This whole operation is fucked.
Nothing is fucked, dude. Nothing is fucked.
Oh man! Another thing, whenever he finally gets the lights done on the house and they light up and the whole family's out there admiring the house, and he goes up to I believe it's Beverly's dad in the film or whatever, and he's like, "The little lights are twinkling, Clark." He's like, "I know. Thanks for noticing."
Thanks for noticing. I want my friends coming out here and seeing them just staying out here. If they know your father, they'll understand.
I think Juliette Lewis didn't get enough good lines in this one.
Yeah, no, but her line, she did a good job.
Really.
She'll see the tree later, Clark. Her eyes are frozen.
Right. My feet are frozen. I can't feel my legs.
Oh, it's such a good movie. I can't really, like I said, I've never seen Vegas Vacation. I feel like I need to go and watch it If you all say it's funny, I'll go.
It's funny, I think.
It's not one of the better ones, but it's definitely worth a watch.
Okay. But I mean, like, it's the only one I haven't seen. You know, but all the vacation movies are gold. I mean, they all make you laugh. There's relatable stuff there too. But Christmas Vacation is the one that is the most relatable, and I think it has the most. It's the most rewatchable.
I think so too.
Out of all of them too. You know, I mean, not getting away from European Vacation or Vacation, but I mean, this one just it takes the taco.
Any questions? Yeah, I got a question. Where's the damn bait?
And the supporting characters, like we said, they make it just so well rounded to where you enjoy every second of this film. You know, it's not only the family, but like we said, the neighbors. Once the aunt and uncle, Lewis and Bethany get there, I love those two. They always crack me up. It's
too.
Old people crack me up so much. That's why I love Golden Girls so much. Is just watching old people do comedy is hilarious to me. I don't know, but Bethany is just like so sweet. She did the voice of Betty Boop back in the 30s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this was and this was her very last film, and nailed it, knocked it out of the park.
Yeah,
Grace, she died 30 years ago.
I have to add that we were talking about like the old people doing comedy and stuff like that. My grandfather passed away a couple months back, and that's something else. Is he was totally one of one of those guys, like one of the people in the family that it's like they don't mean to be funny sometimes. Sometimes they do, and they're hilarious to do it, but they're even funnier when they're mad. Or they're a little aggravated, or like they're giving their spouse shit or something, and it's kind of I thought about that earlier when I was watching this. So yeah.
Whenever she hears the squirrel making the little noises, and Luce is like, you couldn't hear a dump truck going through a nitroglycerin plant.
The thing is, that was my grandfather Carl. It was those kind of like anytime that I was going to go outside and smoke a cigarette, or me and my stepdad were going to smoke a cigarette. It was going to go smoke another nail, huh? Yeah.
That ain't the Christmas star, Grizz. That's the light of the sewage treatment plant.
Sewer treat. Don't like that.
Don't throw that match.
And the first time he burns the tree down and he's on fire, and then he throws the match and blows up, and everybody's fine. It's good.
He's like just sitting there just puffing the cigar, and
Clark's in there cleaning up the fucking dog's mess, and he's like, "Hey, Clark, since you ain't doing nothing, why don't you go grab my stogies?"
Snots. We can't forget Snots.
Can't forget Snots.
Snots the dog.
Little pup up.
Snot. Anybody remember that band? Anybody? Snot?
Yeah.
Anybody?
My balls.
My balls are jack.
We drank a pint of Pennzoil before we got down here.
I forgot about that one too.
He latches onto your leg. You best just let him finish.
What's wrong with the dog? He's just hawking on a bone. Oh, he got it up. He'll be fine.
I'm going to tell you, my buddy Joe can attest to this. You never let a dog finish. My buddy of mine years ago, a buddy of mine, Joseph McGuire. I'm gonna call you out on this one, Joe. One of the greatest guitar players that I've ever had the joy of being in a band with. He was drunk as shit, and him and another buddy came over to my house, and Bruiser, my little yappy little Chihuahua pup, he gets a little humpy sometimes, and he started. Joe reached down to pet Bruiser, and Bruiser latched on. And I was like, dude, watch out. He ain't going to stop me. Oh, it's okay, little buddy. You go ahead and finish. And I was like, and the thing is, every time Joe comes over, Bruiser expects to finish. And he doesn't live it down. Man, leave me alone, man. I was drunk. You can't. You can say that with like the ugliest chick in the bar. You were drunk. You let my dog finish on your arm. Ah! Sorry, Joe. Love you, buddy.
All right, and we are the video store clerks, so we're gonna. No.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
That's the best part.
Oh yeah, dude, it's a great ending to it. It's
That
great.
was the dinner scene. Whenever she did the Pledge of Allegiance, the Star Spangled Banner was the end.
Yeah.
Whenever they're watching his fucking plastic Santa get shot across the sky.
Yeah. Even the cops are like, it's a beautiful moment. You know, it's right up there with Scrooged. You know, the ending with the big TV singing and the spirits in the sky and all that shit. It's almost like that. It's one of those kind of moments. Everybody's all come together to sing a song that does not do anything with the holiday.
Right.
It's great.
I think it's class. They're all saluted out there in the front yard.
And then the police just show up and just like smash through all their windows and just destroy the house.
And as you pointed out, didn't break a single Christmas light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were watching some of it earlier, and the guys were like raiding the house. And they're like rappelling off the fucking top of the roof somehow when they get up there. Nobody knows. But they don't fucking step on any Christmas bulbs, period.
That's pretty low.
On the roof running around.
That's pretty low, mister. If I had a rubber hose, I would
I would beat you with it.
I know.
I changed my mind.
These good people, they made me.
And that cop is not Carl Winslow.
No.
Despite looking very much like him.
But granted, the next door neighbor's house was what? Fucking Murtaugh's house from Lethal Weapon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They should have had Carl Winslow as the cop in this.
That'd have been great.
He's the cop.
He's in everything. I mean, they said like too, like in like the flashback videos when Clark's watching his childhood of like memories or whatever. Fucking the house they used in those videos was the house from Bewitched.
Okay. Now, what I would have done is I would have had like an Easter egg of the house that was
Easter egg
that was next door. That was a dude from Lethal Weapon, and I would have had like just like an outline, kind of just you can't see it barely, but it's there, of just like somebody sitting on a toilet. Too old for this shit.
Shit.
Well, before we go, we'll fire up the random clip generator and stay with us because it's the holidays. We will be doing another reading of one of Chuck Nasty's books here tonight. Live reading. But first, fire up the generator. See what our random clip of the week is.
Drum roll.
Hit the switch.
Oh shit!
やめろ島本刑事やめろやめろどうだな助けに来た男に殺される気分は鉄十字団に恨みを持つ麻薬刑事さん
Desperado.
スパイダーストリング
Woo!
Spider strings.
There was a lot going on there.
Haven't we had other scenes from the weird Spider-Man shit before?
There's a lot of them.
I think the random clip generator loves this foreign shit.
Yeah, we've gotten quite a bit of that shit here lately. I mean, whatever.
I don't know why. Maybe
I think
it's
fucking funny.
Maybe it picks movies out of the section that nobody rents.
Well, and plus the section where we're not going to get hit with copyright strikes.
There is that too.
Very, very true.
Section.
All right, Nasty.
Huh?
You have some books to plug.
Huh?
God bless me.
What was the number? I didn't hear. What was the number? I need the number. What?
Plug the books.
Oh, yeah, you can go on Amazon and you can grab my there's the anthology Sludge I do with Jason Nickey and Stuart Bray, and House of Flesh is my novel, and Thirsty is my novella. Those are what I have out right now. Go to Amazon and buy that shit. I have a lot more on the way. That's what I've been doing besides mouth surgeries. Is getting some shit out to put out more books and more things to make you laugh, make you cry, make you puke, make you touch yourself in all your dirty, dirty places. There's that. There's also my band Bastard Sons with Judas-Scope. You can go check out, just look it up on Facebook, Spotify, Bandcamp, all that shit. Podcast, Graveyard Talk, Nasty Nation. This one coming soon, Nasty Fresh, the podcast, as well as some other things, but we'll get into that as time comes.
And as usual, links are in the description for these fine stocking stuffers.
What are you waiting for?
Of a Judas-Scope.
What are you waiting for? Go now.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we will be reading from Sludge.
Read more than just a sentence. Read a paragraph.
I'll try. This is Toxic Mouth by Chuck Nasty. We will pick a random page. She started to shake again. This time, the large woman started to pass gas, farting and shooting shit out from underneath her crusty ass. The maggot-infested vagina started shooting the vile liquid again, accompanied by some type of balled-up, baby-sized creature splatting against the wall. What the fuck?
Yeah.
No, that's from the book.
Oh.
Sally's eyes were open wider than they had ever been. She had never seen anything, nor been through anything that was so fucking insane before. She watched as the balled-up creature straightened itself up and got on two legs. It was all hunched over. It just stood there, looking into the woman's gaped-out birth canal. Another one just like it came shooting out, more dark fluid spewing out with it. Just like the other one, after a few moments, it did the same thing. Straightened up and stood up from the floor, also in a hunched over position.
We don't want to give away too much.
Grayish green, and they had scales that went up their back. The facial appearance of the two baby things was fucking weird.
All right. Oh, we don't want to give away the spoilers.
There we go.
If that doesn't put you in the holiday spirit, I don't know what will.
It's good. It's a good story. It's one of my favorites.
Available now on Amazon.
Yeah.
So next week is our Christmas special.
Next week.
It is.
Day after Christmas.
And
Day after Christmas special.
Are we doing two
Black
movies?
Xmas.
Next week, we're going to go. We fucked up a little bit this year because we were doing like a naughty nice thing. So we're doing like a horror movie and a wholesome movie. And next week we're going a little extra dark. So we're going to be doing a double feature, if you will, of Black Xmas. And since we're getting into the new year, we're going with a movie that touches on Christmas and New Year's with Trading Places.
Ah.
The double feature. Black Xmas, Trading Places, next Tuesday.
Naughty and nice.
Naughty and nice.
Naughty and nice.
Next week. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's our Christmas party at the video store.
I can't wait to see how we stay on track with that one.
It's
going to be a mess. Just like most holidays.
Yeah.
Come to the shit show, folks.
It is what it is, man.
Right here.
It'll be fun. So once again, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It helps us out a lot. And we're live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you check us out then, and we will see you next Tuesday.